Episode 4, Expressive Impact, oh yeah. Why we won't let go, deal with it.
Deal with it. Good statement. I think that's really important.
My name is Adam Froggett.
And I'm Will Pike. Welcome back. Apologize for the delay on getting our fourth episode out, just life in general. We're really trying to get down to the brass tacks and get this thing rolling again, because we did take a break. We know our viewers are tuning in and they've been reaching out to us, and they're interested in another video, so we're gonna get back on the bandwagon.
Yeah, so we do apologize for the wait, guys. I had messages come in, and you had some, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So yeah, we are sorry, but hey, we're back, and we're gonna try to keep with our schedule as much as possible. Due to life kind of being busy right now for both Will and myself, we're gonna definitely still try to do our once a week. If not, worst case scenario, once every 2 weeks. So expect that. Today's episode, why we won't let go, deal with it, is basically, I'm having a hard time, I guess, kind of coming to how to explain this properly.
Well, I guess letting go of anything in general. I mean, we can either talk about relationships or outcomes and failures. You can't let go of failure, or not being able to let go of your job or getting fired. I mean, there's lots of different spectrums, and we'll try and keep it tight knit. I think, but this is definitely a broad topic.
Yeah, it was kind of difficult for us to even come up with how we were going to kind of keep this streaming properly, but. Yeah. We for the most part, I think we have a good topic here, and I guess a good way to discuss it, which we will begin right now. I brought this up with Will because I think this is something everyone struggles with at some point, and we don't know how to move on when we don't let go. Even me, myself, I'm going to jump right into something personal. I still think about my very first girlfriend from when I was 14 years old.
Oh, wow.
And it does kind of mess with me sometimes when I think about it, because it ended very abruptly. Mm-hmm. And I was with her for just under 3 years, actually. And when you're in junior high, that's pretty, I mean, it is kind of impressive, right? You know what I mean? I didn't remember anybody else like my age that had a girlfriend for that long.
Definitely innocent too, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
You haven't learned that part of, growing up. It's a very innocent love, and I suppose maybe that's why it sticks with you so much, the first of anything.
Yeah, like you never forget your first, whatever, and I guess that's totally true, yeah. But it's definitely helped me back a lot from being happy in relationships and learning how to approach them, actually, properly. So that way I don't necessarily, I'm not necessarily going in there with an idea already of how it should be, right?
Right.
And I think once we have a relationship with anybody, be it a friendship or a romantic relationship, anything like that, we kind of expect it to go the same way in a small way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
With the expectation.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So, question for you would be, so what is it that you did to try and get over that, right? Like, because we said get over it. Right?
Yeah.
Just get over it. So what kind of tactics or meditations or whatever did you do to try and get away from having that drag you down about not letting go? Because I'm sure it took a number of years to finally let that go.
I mean, I don't want this to... I think this is something that I think it's meaningful, and I don't want it to be discredited because it was so young, but it really did affect me still up until now, right? The way I let it go, it took a long time, but I went through a lot of crap to let it go. I didn't know how to deal with it, so essentially my answer to that was just live life and try to figure things out the best I could, you know what I mean? Because it really did hurt a lot, right? When we broke up and stuff like that, and basically that was all I had, really. I mean, that's the only thing that made me happy when I was in that age, and when that was gone instantly, it was just like, wow, that was a total it was a total hit to my confidence. It just dragged me right down. But basically, I guess I kind of just found what was important to me again. Mm-hmm. And new things that were important to me too. Like, I always wanted to play football. So when I was in high school, I played football, right? that was a great way to distract myself. And I'm not saying that distractions are the best way to deal with your problems, because most times they're not. But if you are somebody that can deal with your issues just by distracting it, and then eventually it will fade off, go for it. But it wasn't for me fully, because I still think about it today, right? But yeah, no, just basically finding stuff to do.
Right. So that would be some advice to, if there's viewers out there and maybe they're going through a rough patch and they've lost a relationship they care about, the advice that you would give them is...
Right. Stay busy.
Stay busy. Yeah.
Honestly, for me it worked, right? But then again, I'm the kind of person, and maybe I am this kind of person because of that experience, but I'm the kind of guy that likes to go out there and just get it done, no matter what it is, right? Like getting this episode done, for example. I was stressing about it, wanted to do it, now we're here. You know what I mean? And I guess like, I kind of start up like that. That's sort of how I am, you know what I mean?
I really like what you said there. I just want to touch back on that. You said, you know, you're a different person now. And I think that when you do let go of these things and you move on and you just get over it, you're a different person now. That's the old you. And those lessons that you may be struggling with trying to let go or moving on, those hard lessons end up shaping you, the individual that you are today.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's really important. On the other side, kind of playing a devil's advocate, is, you know, letting go is good, but it's also not something that you should just get over. I think that letting go is maybe a good thing to let linger a while, so that you can really process those thoughts and you really start to break it down and compartmentalize, you know, where you went wrong, what you did wrong, whether it be a relationship or a business venture or whatever.
Or what you didn't do wrong and maybe what was best for you at the end of the day.
And then you think that through thoroughly enough, and then you can come to a conclusion, and then you do move on. I don't think that, for example, a lot of people, when a relationship breaks up, the first thing that they do is they jump in the next one within a week later, and they haven't processed anything.
That's very true.
I think that touches on the fear of being alone.
Yeah.
Right?
100%. That's exactly it. And it's not about being alone. This is just my idea, right? I could be wrong, but I don't think it's about being alone per se, but I think it's being alone with your own thoughts, right? Because then all you have time to do is think about it. But you know what I'm saying? But if you are alone, you can use that properly to think about these things, right? Being alone isn't a bad thing. Not all the time. Sometimes it is, definitely, right? Like, you know, if you know you're going to be depressed after, like, let's say a breakup or something, or you ended a friendship, whatever. If you know you're going to be crazy upset about it, and you know that being alone is going to hurt you more, then get out and go hang out with your friends. Make a phone call, do something. Don't stay there. Yeah. Don't stay in that mindset. But if you think you have the will to actually think it through and your emotions aren't going to cloud your judgment, then hop on it. Do it. The sooner the better, right? And again, that's my opinion, though, only because I work that way, right? That's how I think. So
I really agree with that. Is that, I mean, letting go is kind of letting go can actually kind of almost mean a healing, and I think healing is changing your mind, not your circumstances, right? You can change the way that you view your circumstances. So by changing your mind, you heal that part of yourself where you start to let it go. Right. And I think that's good. If some people aren't good doing that on their own, and yeah, get out, talk to your friends, get that out, because that is you're working through it, and then you will eventually be able to let it go by expressing that. Because another thing is, letting go and get over it, that's good and all, and it's easier said than done a lot of the time.
Definitely, yeah.
But you also have to, find the right time and find that, because if you bottle those feelings up, and that can be a danger of not letting go of something, is you bottle it up, and then boom, you explode, and then you almost make things worse.
Oh well,
right?
I mean, bottling it up, that can go straight to literally bottling it up, you know?
Oh, yeah. You can't let it go, so you're bottling the booze.
Exactly.
Trying to drown your sorrow.
You just numb yourself out, yeah. And that's a horrible way to deal with things. I mean, I've seen it myself. I've been there. I mean, when about 2 years after we broke up, I was at the bar all the time. Like, when I was 16, as soon as I turned 18, I went to the bars, always got drunk, always. And I thought I was having a great time, whatever, but in the back of my head, man, I was crying. Like, really, and that's kind of it's a hard statement to make, but it's true. I mean, it really, really sucked.
You're trying to hide from it.
That's exactly it. Yeah, I wanted to, and you know what? For like a long time, I wanted to be like, I was so, I guess, angry at the situation. I don't know why, but for some reason, I wanted to be a complete prick.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be like that person nobody wanted to talk to. You know what I mean? Because like, I was so like, I don't know, wallowed in my own head about this, and like, it seemed to me that like the more people I hung out with, the more I ended up thinking about it, about my past relationship. So in a big sense, I kind of wanted to stay away from people, but at the same time, I was really enjoying my drinking and stuff like that because I felt that buzz, you know, the stupid drunk thing, right? You know what I mean? And it was just a really weird time, but like, again, I was young, you know, whatever. Now that I'm older, I kind of look back, I see it, and it makes more sense to me now. But ultimately, again, the message in that is know what's best for you. You know what I mean? If you're going through something that's traumatic, don't shy away from it if you know that you can deal with it, right? Just do it. Get it done. Deal with it. I mean, like, I can talk about my ex now and not be upset about it, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas when I was even 23, I couldn't do it. I'd get crazy emotional about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, now I'm good. But it took a long time.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, I found out what essentially worked best for me, and I did it. So.
Well, and I think, too, there in that statement is, in order to let go, first of all, you have to be aware of it. What is it that is bothering you? You start to become aware of the problem, and then you start to acknowledge it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it could be anything from what other people think of you. Are you just trying to justify your actions? Are you angry over your choices? You know, those are things that you can't let go of. Well, I think what's really important is it something that you can control? Because if it's not something that you control, then it's time to let it go. If it's out of your control, whether it be you got fired from your job or whatever, let it go, move on.
Yeah.
And then you start to realize, and that's where you have your awareness and acknowledgement of it, and you start to realize, well, what can I do about this? And that's the next step in getting over it, like get on with it, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's easier said than done, definitely.
For sure.
I mean, we've all been there. It's a struggle. I mean,
controlling your emotions is difficult.
Yeah, a personal one for me that I had to accept was the loss of my physical abilities, right? And for a while there, I mean, I was angry. I was angry at the world. I was angry at everybody. I was angry at myself. I was angry about a lot of things.
For new listeners, you want to just explain that a little bit?
It's just a few years ago there, I was in a pretty traumatic car accident that, you know, I had to learn to walk, and it's in a previous episode. But yeah, so I basically lost a lot of my physical abilities, and still to this day, I struggle. Like, I can't get jobs that are better paying because I can't do that work anymore because my body just doesn't have it in me. I mean, I'm in pain all the time. Mm-hmm. But, so that's something that was out of my control, right? And I was aware of that, and I acknowledged that. And then, in order to get over it, well, then I had to start understanding, okay, well, I can't control this, what can I control? So I would go to physio, I would go to this, I would do what I had to get me to another state. And I think it's really important that if you're struggling with something, or if you know, you're really, something's just eating your mind away, and you know, you can't let go, stop and think about, take a step back and think about what it is that you're trying to accomplish, what it is that, you know, you're looking for, the end result, and that can help you move forward. Because, and anything, I mean, taking a step back on anything, looking at it from a different angle, taking a breath in, right? That is I think, key in order to moving on and, you know, getting over it.
And it's funny, honestly, it's funny you say that, because I like, something just came to me when you mentioned that, again, that you were in a disabling car accident. Sorry if you guys get that sound, it's just a car alarm.
Yeah, there's a car alarm, hopefully that turns off, sorry guys.
But what happened to you is enough to make people want to jump off the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah, I've had some pretty dark thoughts, that's, you know.
Yeah, but you didn't do anything. No. You chose not to. You made that choice, right? Just like I didn't make that choice to, you know, when I was a young, emotional kid, go kill myself because I'll never have my girlfriend again. You know, but no, really. I mean, you went through some serious shit.
Yeah.
And how did you find that lift to just honestly take your time and just rethink how you want to play with this, how you want to deal with this?
I mean, I'm human too, and I'm not Superman. I had severe depression. I mean, I still am a little depressed. I work with it. I talk to people and professionals that can help me with that. But I think it's my will to live. I already climbed the ladder. I used to make 100K a year, and I traveled the world, and I did everything, and I always tried to move forward with it. So again, it was awareness and acknowledgement about understanding that, okay, I've lost this and it's gone, and that's out of my control, but what is in my control? And then you start with step one. You start setting goals. You start, you know, even if it's like in the other episode, you lift 1 pound.
Yeah.
And then you lift 2 pounds. Well, 2 pounds is better than 1 pound.
Or taking that first step.
That
right?
first step. And then that you just focus on that end result. What's the white light at the end of the tunnel?
Normally that's death. Don't go towards the white light at the end of the tunnel. So in that context, stay away from it. But in this one, it's okay. The white light's good.
And I think too, that's really important to understand, because life is very fragile. And when you start to understand life in a different token, is that there is actually no such thing as loss. There is nothing that is ours forever. Not even your own body. Eventually, you're going to die.
That's an interesting thought.
If you pick a flower and you enjoy it and you smell it, well, the flower's going to die. That tree is going to die. You're going to die. I'm going to die. So whether it's relationship or a job, you could get laid off. Nothing is ours forever, right? So I think it's important to maybe not move on, but stay in the present. Stay here, because when you're here in the now, you start to understand, well, what can I do now? And that's very important, because you realize, okay, well, I've lost something, or I don't have this anymore. Well, so what? Move on, get on with it. What can you do now? And if you stay in the present, that's a very, very, very key thing in order to heal or to get over something and move on.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Seriously, no, really, that is deep. What you said, we don't own anything.
Nothing is ours.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
This earth will be here a lot longer than
that's crazy though, really, the way you said that just made me think, like, that's really opening. Like, that's very, very different.
Well, thank you.
No, it's good though. I mean, that's definitely something to think about. I'm going to think about that tonight, man. As soon as this episode's done, I'm going to go home, lay down, and be like, wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, no, yeah, man, that's totally true. Wow. Yeah, so, and another thing I find interesting is that people are afraid to let go of their issues, whatever it may be. Relationship issues, friendship issues, jobs, whatever, like you were saying, right? And if you don't know how to address the fear, that's okay, because I don't think you really realize that you're afraid to address it a lot of the time, because you don't know how to deal with it, and it's that fear that holds you back. Everything has an answer at the end of the day. There is always a way. I believe that. I don't know if everyone believes that, or, well, obviously not everybody, but most people, whatever. But I honestly think that there is always an answer, always. And for me, that's what keeps me going, right? Like when I was running into issues with my promo business, right? When I was running that, I always knew there's an answer. Mm-hmm. Same with you know, with school. How I was taught, that's a great one. How I was taught, right? I knew it wasn't working for me, but I knew there was a way I could get it done. And I mean, yeah, of course, like, I would be anxious, I'd be mad about my grades, whatever, things like that, right? And that's how I dealt with it. That's how I dealt with a lot of things, and that's funny because I never looked at my past relationship that way. The one area I never really thought about things. Mm-hmm. That was it. So I got some reflecting to do tonight. I'm going to rethink this whole strategy of life I'm kind of playing. That's interesting.
Another one too, letting go can also be brought into failure. And I want to shout out to someone, my buddy Alex and his wife Amy. I was listening to one of her live Facebook feeds the other day, and something really connected with me. And it was kind of letting go of, like, you know, we've traveled a lot and we've done things. So you book the ticket, or if it's something that you want to do, you want to take a course, you want to start a business, just do it.
Yeah.
Let it go and just do it, and then figure it out after, right? And I think that so many people are so afraid of failure that they don't let go. They don't let go.
You're totally right.
Right?
Yeah. 100%,
and so Amy, I mean,
100%.
huge shout out. Like, that really struck home with me. Is there's so many times where you just let go about what's going to happen, what the outcome is, and just go for it and figure out the logistics after. Because that's the first step, and that's how you move on. That's in any facet of your life. I think that letting go can be powerful. It's not just, you know, it could be an emotional, psychological learning, but also for your own life in achieving things that you want. Let it go. I mean, if you fail a course in school, I remember I took physics the first time, and I was so angry, and I got 14%. I thought you'd have to be a genius to solve this. And then when I took it the second time, I just let all that crap go, all those preconceived, conditioned ideas about how I'm not smart enough, and I've been a dumb construction worker, and I'll never get there. And I just let it go, moved on, and then, surprise, surprise, I finished with a 95 overall. Crushed it. And that's what's really, I think, important in your mind, is to let it go and move on, right? If it's out of your control, well, then start to think about what is in your control, what is in the now, and what you can do to move forward.
Yeah.
Right?
100%. And actually, I'm going to bring up something a little personal.
No, for sure.
I've noticed that you say quite a bit, I used to be able to travel, I used to do these kinds of things, right? What's stopping you from traveling besides money?
Well, money is a very big factor.
Okay.
And I just think it's more of...
but you're willing to, is what I'm getting
Definitely, definitely.
So you're not going to ever stop?
No, I will never stop.
Okay, good.
I like how you said I could used to. I should say I will again, right? And I shall again, you know. No, that's very true. But I just think for certain avenues, I'm trying to save for this, I got to go to college and...
Plan ahead, that's fine. Yeah.
I'm categorizing and making sure, well, this comes first.
You were just talking like it was all over, and I'm like, no.
Thank you.
No, it's not.
No, change the language.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's very important too, the way that we speak to ourselves or to others. Like you said, like, that's such a negative. Well, I did this, and it almost sounds like I never will again. Well, no.
That's the way it sounded, and that's why I...
No, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
That's really good.
Not only are you my co-host, but you're one of my good buddies.
Right on. Well, it's good to have friends.
Yeah, for sure. Friends are good. Make them.
Also, too, I think letting go has a lot to do on some levels, where you can get so far down that rabbit hole in your mind where it becomes an obsession. That's very dangerous.
In what sense?
An obsession where you're just constantly overthinking, overreacting, people, I mean, some people have conditions where they have to wash their hands 100 times. They become obsessed with something because they can't let go of it. They can't work through that. And I think that, obsession is that next level of the danger of not letting go of things. Because you'll keep culminating in your mind, and it'll just go over and over and over, and it can ruin you. It can stop you from achieving
for sure, 100%.
everything that you want.
Absolutely, 100%, for sure. Hey, perfect example. Again, it goes back to my ex. That's all I thought about, right? And I mean, dude, how much did I miss out on that I don't even realize, right? Because of that. Who knows? I could have been married by now with whatever, like my girlfriend, wife, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, totally.
But no, that's a really good point, yeah, because, at the end of the day, again, you do have to deal with your problems how you will, but if you don't, it can absolutely destroy you. Not like completely to the point where, like, you don't want to go on living, but that happens too. But even to the point where you, like, just kind of stop caring about a lot of different things, and then your persona is just gone. You're a different person, and that's scary. That's not good at all.
No.
You need yourself. You need yourself, and you need to go back to yourself and go back to what's best for you, always. Always make it work for yourself. Because otherwise, what are you doing? Whose game are you playing? And why?
Great statement. It's your game.
Well, it has to be.
Yeah, and that's the thing too with relationships. We get so involved in each other, and we feel like we become codependent, or we can't live without the other person.
Yeah.
And when those when things don't work out or whatever, remember who you are.
Yeah.
Because it's something you might have even forgotten.
Even in a career, right?
Yeah.
You love your job. It's great. Okay, you get fired next week. Oh my God, you're like the earth beneath you has opened up. Now you're in a pitfall. Okay. Well, are you going to catch on something while you're falling, or are you just going to sink?
Yeah.
Look at how many people go to like drugs and alcohol after something like that, right? And just ruin themselves completely.
Even more. Bigger hole to climb.
Exactly. So the further you go down that path, right, the longer you think about it, the more you're going to get screwed.
Yeah. Bigger ladder you got to build to get out of that.
100%. You have to get back to yourself always. If you know what works for you, do that. We're not here to tell you what to do, how to do it, but in a sense, I guess I'm saying how to do it. But do it where it works for you, because ultimately that's what it's all about.
Hey guys, sorry about that technical difficulty. That was my fault again. I got to use a bigger gig card again. I'm not going to make that mistake again. But where Adam left off, he was talking about doing what it is that's right for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Ultimately, again, it just comes down to if you have an issue, deal with it. So often we just push it to the back of our heads and just try to move on and just forget about it, and it just doesn't work. I mean, at least for me, it doesn't work like that, right? If there's something bothering me, I have to confront it some way, right? Mm-hmm. And again, do what's best for you, right? We're not here to tell you how to do things or what to do, but know yourself well enough to know what's best for you and how to deal with your problems in the best way possible. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to.
Well, yeah, that's totally, because everyone has a different outlet. Meditation, the gym,
yes,
playing music,
yep,
whatever it may be. I definitely agree with you, is do what's right for you, and reach out and talk to people. I think that's another good one, because I think you can get different perspectives from different people.
Right.
You can have a different vantage point on it. And sometimes, some people's advice doesn't help. It may not be something that you vibrate with.
Right.
But at least you've gotten past that one way of thinking about it, and you can move on.
Well, if you know what doesn't work for you, that's already a win, right?
Yeah.
Because then you don't have to waste your time trying something just isn't going to happen. So,
no, exactly.
Yeah. And I want to bring this back to, sorry, not bring it back, but I am going to open up a point here. Even if you guys are struggling with something, right, our audience, comment on our YouTube channel, or send us a message on Facebook. We can reach out to you. I have no problem talking with people. I love talking with people, and if I can help, I want to. So we're open to that too.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. If there's anything you want to talk about, or open up, we're there. We love talking to people. I mean, just before the clip, when we were doing some little editing here, we were just talking about how much we enjoy talking with people and communicating, because everyone can bring value.
Yeah.
Everyone can bring a different perspective. Everyone can bring something to the table, and I think people are our value. That's in the equation, right?
Absolutely.
So
100%. I don't know if do we have much more to bring up?
I mean, yeah, it's a very broad topic. We were trying to keep it all kind of contained, so that we didn't lose track, because we're really trying to stay on topic and not move too far outside the realm. So I think we've definitely covered a lot of it. If you guys have any advice for us, if we're going off track, or we also wanted to bring
Q&A.
Q&A. That's
yes, Q&A. You guys have questions for us, we will start answering them at the end of the show. If you want to leave a comment that just says Q&A and then ask your question, we'll make sure to get that at the end of the shows. We'll try to answer as many as we can into an episode. And you can ask us whatever, doesn't matter.
For sure, because we'd love to have you guys engaged. If we're missing a point, or you guys have a different view or perspective, we're always open to that.
Yeah.
Because it makes us step back a little bit and kind of realize what's the way we're thinking, or if there is a different perspective.
Or if we're thinking wrongly, we just realize it too. I mean, you can always learn from talking.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think
it was funny, because on an old episode there, it's so funny. is I had said, you know, about certain thinking or whatever, and I was stuck on the babushka, and I actually was wrong yet again. My brain was so hardwired. It is in fact a woman's bonnet. Oh. It's not her behind.
Oh, okay.
And my mom corrected me. She's like, no, like you corrected yourself, but you corrected yourself wrong yet again.
That's funny.
So no, I mean, if we're off on some tangent or whatever, I would always love to be corrected, because I don't like being that, you know, ignorant person that just, you know, you don't know any better, you think you know, and then you're spewing garbage.
How funny would it be if you were wrong again?
Oh God!
Imagine back for the fourth time. Like, so I was wrong about this, I was wrong about that, and that was wrong, but here's what's right.
And so let it go and move on.
That's awesome. Yeah, exactly. That's hilarious.
But no, I think that's really good. Make sure that you guys like the page, subscribe, always share with us feedback, share, you know, whatever it is. We're trying to reach bigger audience.
We appreciate it if you share the videos on Facebook and things like that. It really helps us out. And it's nice to know that, like, we're being appreciated that way. So, you know, we love our audience that listens to us. It blows me away. We have over 220 people on our pilot episode that's seen that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's crazy.
And like we were saying before, also with the glitch, is like, that's why we want you to share the video, is because the more people we can reach. I mean, I've watched videos or listened to podcasts and stuff, and it sparks something in my mind. And if we can do that, if we can just change one person's perspective, our job is done.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
And that's why we want to continue with this. So, I mean, the bigger audience we can reach, the more feedback that we can get is very important to us, because we want to make a difference. We really want to help people, you know, just think outside the box, or look from another perspective.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. Yeah, especially if it's good for them too. At the same time, if you think we're idiots and your life is working out just fine, hey, cool.
No, exactly.
You don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
It's all good. But okay, I think that's where we're gonna end this off, guys. So thank you again for checking out Expressive Impact. We'd love you for it, and we'll see you on our next episode, episode 5.
Yeah, awesome. Love you guys.
Take care,
have a great
guys.
night.